The flight took 12 hours, with 7 hours spent in the hurricane. The crew, headed by Captain Dennis Fife, consisted of 6 men, 2 of which were weather observers. We were briefed in the latest weather conditions and proceeded to file a flight plan. Ground support equipment was also demonstrated. The main purpose of these flights is to collect information for the National Hurricane Center, who in turn analyzes the materials and issues bulletins to the public. The crew of the C-130 in no way evaluates or makes determinations about the storm. But these men are all seasoned flyers who understand their job and know a great deal about what they see. By launching a radio-equipped cylinder into the storm, monitoring equipment can determine temperature, barometric pressure, and humidity. Caroline did not hit the United States, but because of the continual changes in her movements, she was a good storm to observe. Hurricanes are the most destructive forces known to man, and at times the most unpredictable. Caroline was no exception. Before we reached Caroline, all we knew about her was that her highest winds were 85 miles an hour and that she was stationary. Before sunrise, we penetrated Caroline and discovered that some changes had happened. Caroline was on the move, moving west, and highest winds were 100 miles an hour. This was demonstrated best by views of the Gulf with white caps and green water. Caroline was churning up a lot of water, and the warm waters of the Gulf were in turn feeding the hurricane. These are the facts that we had come to gather. We were not in a position to predict the future of Caroline. Was there anything unusual about the storm from the pilot's point of view?
On an overall hurricane mission, this was fairly routine. We didn't run into any extreme turbulence. Of course, we were extremely cautious and entered in the area where there were no extreme wall clouds. However, we did get 80 to 90 knots of wind, which is good winds for a hurricane.
Like any other long flight, ours was tedious and often boring. The noise level on board forced us to use earplugs at all times, and almost half of the flight was made in the dark of night. Channel 10 was not the only TV crew on board. The men you see here hard at work are from a station in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The mission completed, the crew disembarked, tired and weary. But time was taken to present cameraman John Keffer and myself with certificates acknowledging our insanity for flying through a hurricane and surviving an in-flight lunch. For years, the biggest problem with hurricanes was the element of surprise. Part of that element has been eliminated now through the use of the C-130 and the hurricane hunters at Keesler. This is Danny Treanor reporting from Keesler Air Force Base with the hurricane hunters for Channel 10 Newsbeat.